support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We are the lads from Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say?
Yeah, as I said in my opening notes, it is an absolutely marvellous time being a Birmingham City fan. But at the top of the show, of course, we, as many others, will be paying tribute to the events happened on Saturday. The helicopter crash at Leicester, the Brighton fan who sadly died before the game against Wolves, and of course Glenn Hoddle with his heart attack, even though he is making a recovery and talking to family and friends. But the events at Leicester, that was just unbelievable, Chris. I mean, the guy has done everything for that club. He put his heart and soul, his money. The club didn't owe him anything. He always thought he owed the club, he owed the fans. Proper owner, and to lose a chap like that of that calibre, awful, absolutely awful.
Yeah, horrendous news and horrendous scenes, and you can imagine what it must have been like for supporters, people in and around the ground at 8 o'clock, 8:30 on Saturday night, and having to witness that. Awful for the club, as you say, for the club and for the city as well. I mean, you know, Mr. Srivardhana has put an awful lot of money into Leicester City Football Club and done so much for Leicester City Football Club. But as has been mentioned a number of times, local hospitals, local charities, which he has pumped numerous amounts of his own money into. And as you say, a family that have come over and really embraced the city and the club, and who, you know, the supporters of that football club owe so much to, you know, the ride that they've had over the last 5 years. So awfully sad news, and certainly thoughts with everybody involved with Leicester and that family tonight. Yeah.
Just like I say, it's just kind of unbelievable, isn't it? That something like that could happen on that scale. Well, you know, as I said in my opening notes there, you know, I mean, it's a great time being a Blues fan at the moment, but pales it into significance, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does when you know, someone loses their life in any circumstance, but in such an unusual and unfortunate circumstances. I think it'll take Leicester, the city of Leicester, and the club a long time to get over that. Yeah,
and football, the football family, you know.
Certainly. Because we all
feel it.
Look, this club has had its times, you know, over the last few years where people have had a real pop at owners and things like that, and you know, it's a really ever-changing game, and we can be very fickle at times, football fans. But yeah, certainly a tough time for Leicester at the moment.
And as I say, thoughts are with everybody concerned and involved.
Yeah.
There are no kind of plus sides of it, but the only thing that kind of struck out in my mind that it wasn't another 40 or 50 minutes earlier.
Yeah, and the skill. The bravery
I know.
and the skill of that pilot to, you know, obviously you don't know the ins and outs, but you can only assume as an experienced helicopter pilot, he knew that they weren't getting out of that. And you know, to be so close to the main high street and to avoid, you know, at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night on the high street, you know, it could have been so much worse. But yeah, it's a very sad moment for football in general, and certainly the city of Leicester.
Yep. Okay. On to the Blues then. Wow. Have we been able to say that for a long time?
You're running out of superlatives for them. You know, the effort.
It's a big word for a Monday.
Superlatives.
Yeah. That's four syllables.
It's okay.
Syllables only three.
Superlatives. It is
very good.
Yeah. Your counting's improving as well. That's good. No, you know, it's the effort, like I said, that they're putting in, to go for the third game in a week. Not the biggest squad, so not many changes. Most of them players have played all 3 games in that week, and to go again and to have the half an hour that they did, where they could have been 2 or 3 nil down, to actually come back from that, turn it around, get the goal before half time, and you don't ask for much. The effort and the endeavour and the non-stop action, and just they're so desperate to get the ball forward, and it's making for really entertaining games at the moment. But yeah, you really can't ask for much more. The fitness levels are through the roof at the moment.
Yeah.
They don't stop running from minute 1 to minute 90. The appreciation with the supporters is there for all to see, and it is paying off on the pitch.
Stuart McDonald thinks somebody's going to come in for Mr. Monk.
Who? I mean, listen, I can't praise Gary Monk enough for the job he's done. He has done an incredible job here. But the most incredible thing he's done is just go back to such basics. He knows that we haven't got the strongest midfield. Our possession stats are on the floor, but we don't need it, because as soon as we get it back, we get it up the top. And if nothing comes of it, don't worry about it. We'll work our socks off until we get it back again, and then we'll have another go at them. And that's what makes it so incredible.
37% possession.
The last 3 wins, we've had 3 wins in a row this week.
Yeah.
All 3 wins, we've had under 40% possession.
Gooseball.
I mean, that's and it just goes against the grain of everything that anybody would tell you from a coaching perspective. Which is why I say, who would come in for Monk? Because what he's doing here is so unique that it works at this club. Sometimes it happens with managers. I'm not saying he's an awful manager. He's not. Clearly, he's not. He's a really bright, intelligent guy, and he knows what the best way to cut. At Swansea, he did it the Swansea way, and they kept possession well, and they played lovely football. Here, he can't do that, but actually, do you know what? It's working so well for us, and the fans are connecting to it so well, and they're appreciating it so much. You would have to, I genuinely don't know who he'd leave for.
He's revered now, isn't he?
And
we haven't had that for a very, very long time.
He went Saturday 1-1, and he brings Harding on for Mahoney in the second half, and I think, okay, 3 at the back, that's a little bit controversial.
Yeah, as Paul Gill just said.
We end up winning 3-1, and Pedersen, who put to left wing back, is in the penalty box for the 3rd goal.
But that Mahoney goal, though. I mean, Martin Ward said, what about the Mahoney goal? But
fantastic strike,
like watching Barcelona, he says.
Wow.
Come on, give the lad some credit.
It's not exactly Barcelona, but as a strike, it's inch perfect. He's cut in from the left and bent it perfectly. The keeper's got no chance. I thought for the first half hour he struggled a little bit. I thought both wide men did, Hotter and Mahoney, and I was considering in my head, should we switch them over? Try Hotter on the left, Mahoney on the right, and then 2 minutes later he goes and bends one in from the left hand side.
Incredible. And the Duke scoring again.
From that moment on, Mahoney was excellent, and then
what a confidence booster that has been for him, though. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Wow. It must have been a brilliant feeling, and you could tell, because then he brought him into the game a lot more, and it seemed to give him a lot more confidence. And Djukovic, well, the guy is
just on
the
fire,
guy is ridiculous at the moment. As soon as Hotter crossed that ball, and I saw it was Djukovic at the back post, just hit the target, because there's no way he's not winning that header. The form he's in, he just looks like he's going to win everything.
The Duke is immense.
Duke and Adams as well. Yeah. Adams was so strong, So he used his
4 months
pace
ago,
well.
Adams looked really unfit. He didn't. He was spending a lot of time in the centre circle.
Yeah.
And now he's just firing. It's absolutely firing.
But they held the ball up. Both of them held the ball up so well, and that's what I say. When you're using this tactic and you want to get the ball forward as quick as possible, because we're not going to keep the ball for 10 minutes.
No.
As much of a little scrote he is, Barry Bannon can keep the ball for 10 minutes if he wants. He was the best player on the park.
I can only imagine he got quite a bit of stick.
It was his own fault. He give it when Sheffield Wednesday got the first. He give it the fist pump, the arm pump to the Tilton. So he was bound to get a stick once it went 3-1. But as a footballer, he's the best player on that pitch. But we haven't got anybody like that. So there's no point trying to keep it. Get it up into the danger areas as quick as possible. And like I said, Duke and Adams were so strong. They bullied the Sheffield Wednesday defence again, like they bullied the Reading defence on Tuesday night. They are flying high in confidence, the both of them. And it's making us a really dangerous team to play. And 4 wins on the bounce and 11 unbeaten goes to prove that.
Yeah, 4 wins on the trot. That's not happened for a long time.
It's outrageous. It's an outrageous stat in this league. For any team to go at 11 unbeaten is really impressive. For a team that has 3 of the last 4 seasons survived on the last day, that's even more impressive. The turnaround is ridiculous. It just goes to show what a difference confidence makes. Confidence in your manager, confidence in your teammates. And they are absolutely flush with it at the moment.
Kev Kelly agrees with you that Barry Bannon was head and shoulders the best player on the pitch and would take him in a heartbeat at Blues.
Imagine him in our team.
Yeah.
The energy levels that we're putting in, and then add a little bit of quality like him in the middle of the park. You wouldn't be far off a serious team then.
No, you wouldn't. Adam was asked, do you think the VAR will notice if we give them Craig Gardner back come the end of the loan rather than Gary? Which I think is an absolutely brilliant idea.
You could try it.
The comments are just coming in so thick and fast. We do read them all, but we don't have time to read them all out, if you know what I mean. But please keep them coming. It's what makes the show. Gary Gardner. Again, what a signing he was. And
vilified when he come in by some people.
No disrespect to the Blues fans out there. Whoa.
Yeah,
and he's put the shirt on and he was touching the badge. He touched the badge last week.
I don't know whether it's a ploy. I don't know whether he knows what he's doing to try and get the fans on his side or not. But he genuinely seems like he's loving his football.
But he's playing first team football.
He's playing and in a winning environment. How could you not love your football at the moment?
Yeah.
And like you say, whether I don't care who he supports. The shift he's putting in and the performances he's putting in at the moment, it's making the world of difference to that midfield. I said about Barry Bannon, quality wise, I think Bannon's a lot better than Gardner is, but Gardner. The difference between Bannon and Gardner is the same difference between Gardner and anybody else we had in that midfield.
Yeah.
So it's looking the world of difference in our midfield.
I can't believe it. I just can't. We don't have Mondays like this on the Tilton Talk.
Very rarely, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we had a little bit of criticism last week about talking over each other, and we were
I love it.
Oh no, you didn't. Yeah. We've really got to try and be professional this week and not do that. But it is difficult because you get excited and you get carried away in the moment and this, that, and the other. And I can see you really want to say something, but I'm talking and you're really straining not to. Off you go.
No. Listen, first of all, we had the guys in from the police,
well done to them as well last week.
It was a fantastic show
to them because that must have been very difficult, right? Not knowing what they were walking into.
Yeah.
And credit to the guys for giving us the answers that they gave us as well.
Yeah,
there's no reason why any one of those answers, even though some people have thought that they haven't been quite the truth,
genuine.
Zero reason to think that they told us anything than what is.
Trouble is, if they come in and say something that's turns out not to be true,
yeah,
they've got no credibility, have they?
No, zero,
I've got no reason to doubt what they said.
Nor me.
But the fact that they were on, we had tons of questions we wanted to ask. We had tons of questions coming through. I think it's and obviously when you got 5 people as it was in the studio last week. Sometimes it's difficult for everybody to get their word in, but yeah, we will try and keep to one voice at a time.
And they said they're going to come back, which I think is really encouraging.
Yeah, it would be fantastic to have them back.
Yeah, sorry to talk over.
It's okay, you're more than welcome.
I think that was quite an interesting show last week. Really, very informative.
Well, I went,
and I think a lot of people were shocked at some of the things that they said.
Yeah, I was.
They weren't,
I was surprised at some of the stuff they said. Yeah,
and even now, people still don't believe some of the things.
No, exactly.
On Twitter, it's crazy, isn't it?
But I went to the Reading game on Tuesday night, and a few people stopped me and said that they really enjoyed the show with the guys in. So yeah, massive thanks for them to coming in.
Yeah, and what it's done, it's also built a bridge.
Yeah,
it has.
What we've got to do is keep building and building and building on that, and get the relationship right with them, so that they're comfortable. They want them comfortable to come in anyway, but
of course
they feel they could come in at any time. Great show, brilliant, loved every minute of it. What's the update on injuries, timelines, and how long? Now we're looking at Mags is going to be out certainly till after the international break.
Yeah, I think I was told today international, so that's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You'll miss Derby and Hull. Maybe back in time, possibly for a bench spot in the Derby, but
And then Harley Dean going off with his hip injury. That's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, it was. At the time during the game, you're thinking, we've got problems here with Dean going off. Roberts come on, and I thought he was very, very good aerially. And the biggest praise I could give him is that we didn't miss Dean, that much at all, really. Possibly just for his ability on the ball, but obviously you'd like Harley Dean back as soon as possible because he's had a fantastic start to the season.
Well done to Brett Stanley for being on the Trillion Trophies Tilton Talk TV for your 3-word comment, and his 3-word comment was, Mrs. Brown?
It was rate my tie.
Rate my tie. Rate my tie. Oh no, this was the caption competition. Beg your pardon, the caption competition. Beg your pardon, that was, wasn't it? Yeah. Do we have a winner for the 3-word review or not?
Well, Adam hasn't done his job this week and picked one.
Oh,
okay, well, if Adam's listening, he's listening.
Get on with it, Adam.
Sort it out.
Pick one out.
We need to be professional on here. One job a week. That's all you get, mate.
One job a week. I can't get the stuff.
Fast pay.
Fast pay.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
Happy?
My favourite subject. Yeah, fantastic.
Now that wasn't staged, was it?
No.
No.
We genuinely. I was with my dad and my brother. So yeah, ask him. James shared this video. He might be watching tonight. He was the one that videoed it.
We
got into the ground at about 25 to 3. There was a pretty big queue waiting in the beer bar in the corner of the Tilton and Cop. So we just went to the front and I asked the guy if this was the fast pay queue, and he said, yeah, if you've got your fast pay working. I had to give me season ticket over. I'd loaded it with my money on. Give my season ticket over. It was the first time I'd used it, so they send you a QR code.
Got you, yes.
On your email. So you just had to show them the QR code. It registered your card. And then you scanned the card, put through what I'd had, and the money was off. And there you go. See you later. Easy as that.
Has anybody else enjoyed the delights of fast pay? There we go. Has anybody else?
I think it was a very impressive video. That
Thank you.
I'll have to show it again later.
Yeah.
I mean, could you put it up? I know Tom Ross is going to join us on the phone around about 8:15.
Yeah.
But could you?
Who knows when that time is? Because our clock's broke. We haven't got a clue when 8:15 is.
Oh, I thought it was 7:45 now.
No.
Right, okay.
It could be. I don't know.
It's been 7:45 for a week on that clock.
Will somebody please give Mrs. Brown
some batteries,
AA batteries for this clock?
Well, I thought about it.
Oh, golly. Okay, so fast pay was all good then, so you happy?
Yeah, worked wonders for me,
Excellent. Listen, like to report the bad, like to report the good.
Yeah.
And when things are going well...
I said I'd give it a chance, and I said I'd show people how it went, and went wonders. And
the bit that I'm surprised of is that people in the slow pay queues just haven't infiltrated the fast pay area.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. But you see, there's no till there. There's just a guy.
Ah.
And because there was no one in the fast pay queue, the guy was helping out all the tills.
Right.
But then, I assume this is how it works. As soon as somebody comes to the fast pay queue, he then leaves and goes and does his own
Robert
thing.
Daw wants to know if we're on commission for fast pay.
No,
No.
I'm getting nothing for it.
Nothing.
If BCFC would like to top my card up with some money,
With copious amounts of money, so you can constantly
so I
quality
can
check.
keep using fast pay and boasting about how great it is.
You're
more than
You'll have
welcome.
a few followers.
Yeah. No, but that was my first experience of it, and it worked. Worked a treat.
So would you recommend it me to get it fast?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay,
do
cool.
it.
Right. Tuesday night's game, Reading. Bam, bam, bam. I tell you what. Boom.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know. What am I watching? I'm not watching what I'm used to watching for the last however many years. It's like, it's strange.
You're just watching a fast-paced, frenetic.
Oh, I was going to say fast pay then.
No.
You're going to start thinking,
Yeah.
oh, subliminal.
Just getting it in there every so often.
Subliminal
Yeah.
links.
It's what we are now. It's the team we are. We'll let everybody have it for as long as they possibly want, and then as soon as we get it back, we're on to them.
And again,
we'll see how they can deal with it. And for the last two home games, Reading and Sheffield Wednesday, they've looked absolutely hopeless at dealing with us. They had full control of that game for half an hour. On Sheffield Wednesday did on Saturday. Reading was different. I didn't think Reading were up to much. I thought even though our possession was low again, we never really looked like in danger. Never looked in trouble. But Sheffield Wednesday had the game. They had the game for half an hour.
Exactly.
It probably should have.
Hour, I thought, this could be the burst of the bubble.
Yeah. Well, it certainly felt like that. Yeah, they could have
Sadly,
been 2 or 3-0 up.
I couldn't go to the game. I was in the Black Swan, but and I shouted across at a certain person who was working there as well. I ain't coming here again on a Saturday. We lose every time. 1-0 down, and then got chatting to a chap in the back room, and we were chatting football, blues, this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. And it was like really nice, and then to see the scores coming through, boom.
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
But Tuesday night under the spotlights, you can't beat that, can you?
No,
you can't love it.
and we were brilliant again, and it's so good going down there now, isn't it? There's, like you said, that buzz. There was 22,000 on Tuesday night, 23 and a half on Saturday.
Yeah.
People are loving going down
I
again.
didn't think there'd be that many. But
As somebody said earlier, it's not a chore anymore.
It's not. It's not. And I spoke to I saw Richard Golding, the PA guy, on the train on Saturday, and we were speaking because obviously part of his role is to get the fans going and to gee up a bit of excitement before and after the game and everything. And he says his job is almost done for him at the moment. It's great. Everybody feels so great going down to Blues now, whereas 2 years ago it was a different story altogether.
I left the Reading game and walked out, and I've not heard a buzz in the Coventry Road for many, many years. I've got goosebumps all over. You can see them, right? Very prevalent side, but there was people talking and smiling and despite the ridiculous threats that were put out by some stupid individual before this and the other,
Which turned out to be rubbish.
But wasn't it nice to see it all lit up with the phones?
Yeah, I had no idea that's what was going on.
No, at the time.
We had the 22nd minute applause for Chloe,
beautiful.
which was superb,
Beautiful, yeah.
really, really superb.
And then with that rendition of Kate,
and then
Light on it,
straight after, it was a really powerful moment that was. But then all these lights started coming on, and I was like, "What on earth? Have I missed something here? What's going on?" I hadn't realised that they'd said, "Put your torches up if you want a scrap," and then loads of people put their phone torches on. So yeah,
mine was on, but I didn't realise what it was.
No,
for.
yeah.
I thought it just light
My
up if you
battery
love
was
the
struggling,
blues.
so I thought there's no way I'm even going near it.
Well, I think we ought to do that every game. Light up if you love the blues. I think it was quite effective.
Use modern technology for support. Yeah.
Well, yeah. As long as it's used not for scrapping, it's just used for light up if you love the blues. That could catch on. Go on.
we have a winner for our three-word review.
Oh.
Big Blue Steamroller from Carol Sandland.
Ah.
Carol Sandland. Okay, and what's in the pot for Carol?
Some goodies.
Some goodies. Carol Sandon, all you need
Goodies.
to do is get in touch with the Tilton Talk Show and we'll
Some
sort you out with some
t-shirts.
goodies.
I'll get some later.
Adrian Howell, while we're talking about improved things, fair play to K2's attitude towards supporters in recent weeks, much improved.
Obviously, I'm in the upper block of the corner, so I don't see much of K2. But yeah, we haven't seen any pushing and pulling and shoving down by block 4. So maybe the message has got across, and that meeting helped alleviate some of the problems. Yeah, which would be good to see.
And Sam, who comes in, Sam
Hubert?
Yep. Met him down at the Reading game, had a chat with him at half time. He's claiming credit for the Blues' wins since he's had his gallbladder
course,
taken
yeah,
out.
Oh, okay.
So,
So the curse wasn't in the corner of the pitch; it was in
it
Sam's
was his
gallbladder.
gallbladder. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess
So-
yeah.
Somebody did ask him how many more body parts can you sacrifice
Yeah.
before the end of the season, which I thought was pretty good. Kevin French, hi
If you can have a
chaps.
triple heart bypass before the Villa game, that'd be cracking.
Kevin French, hi chaps. What's happened since I've been away? 4 wins on the trot. Very happy Blue Nose back to cold. Tamworth, welcome back. Why don't you just go
Welcome
back,
back.
Kev? Why don't you just
Where-
go back
where-
to where you come
Where
from?
were you in New York, Kev? You did. I've never actually heard this one. Where were you, Kev, in New York?
Okie dokie. Right, Steve Portman, in all fairness, no, all right, so that's from a little bit before. Let's go. Last time we played this well, we sacked a manager from Pete Taylor. Yeah.
But and people are making this point that we haven't had this since Rowett, and even now, I will always be thankful.
This is better than Rowett.
I will always be thankful for what Rowett did because we were down that season. He come in, so to keep us up and to get us in the top 10, top 12, which he was doing, I'll always be thankful of that. This feels so much more connected to us. It's so much more fluid. The attacking intent is more there. Under Rowett, it was we'll keep it as tight as possible and try and nick some. Here, it's not that. It's we'll keep it as tight as possible and then we'll go hell for leather at you, and you've got to stop us. And that's such an amazing.
Very fan orientated, Monk does compared to a lot of managers.
Well, that was just I was just going to come on
to.
to Chris. Actually, the amount of things that Gary Monk is doing outside of Birmingham
right.
City,
Yeah.
helping the Jeff Horsfield Foundation,
Yeah.
feeding the homeless people,
Yeah.
the things he's doing with the young fans, with
He had somebody.
He had the guy who had did he have a stroke or a heart attack
Yeah.
into the dressing room. Now this is something I've had a chat about with a few people I know down there, and I don't know whether this is this might be Gary Monk, this might be some the coaching staff, it might just generally be the way they do things, but there's also people might not be 100% sure on him, but remember Davo got that role at the club as a fan ambassador sort of thing. Could this be his influence?
I don't know.
Is
Do you know what,
Davo picking up on things?
If it is, he should tell us.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
advertise
I want to
it.
know. Yeah,
Publicise it more and more and more. The good things that Birmingham City Football Club
Yeah.
are doing for the community,
Yeah.
and this is what we all are about, really.
and maybe it's a case that it doesn't matter who's
No, it doesn't
organising
matter.
it.
It doesn't matter, but
As long as it's
publicise it.
happening, yeah.
This is what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
There's
But it's just
much great-
interesting.
So many great things going on.
Well, yes,
apart
I'm
from what
guessing
we're
the
seeing
club
on the
really
pitch.
want to liaise
Fast paced
with the club.
working. The pies are hot.
Boys are always hot. There's never a doubt about that. Yeah. But yeah, I just think since his introduction into that role at the club, there has been a lot more, club to fan connection going on. Djukovic's message to Beth Capewell.
Lovely, absolutely lovely.
The applause for Chloe, getting it round everybody and things like that. And I wonder if it's Davo picking up on things, picking up on supporters he's met over the years, doing his diaries and things like that. And actually, he's bringing them closer to the club now.
Yeah. Can I just quickly say, we had a competition earlier on in the season to see where we would be by Christmas.
Yes.
I mean, lots of people giving their predictions. Because Ray's staff, he said, I reckon Blues will be second by Christmas. So he said that. So that
Is
he
this
wouldn't-
Ray
so-
Hobro?
Yeah, so that he wouldn't win.
Oh, okay.
He's probably got a chance now. Probably has.
Oh dear me, brilliant. We have actually had Dave on the show once.
Yeah.
We'll try and get him back. We can write to the club and try and get him
Obviously,
back.
he's part of the club now.
Not sure
It
he'd
might
come
be a
in.
bit tougher,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, shame really, shame because the audiences are here.
And if it is him who's playing a massive part in this, it'd be great for him to come on and speak about what he's doing, so people can. People can get in touch with him and with stories they've got, and more things can be done.
They've got to want to get these things out.
Yeah,
They've got to have an avenue to get these things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, always publicise the good that you do. Like everybody will criticise you and knock you. We had a little bit of criticism last week. We've taken it on board, and I'm stopping and thinking before I'm talking, and I'm trying my best. And sometimes I'm going.
You don't talk about it.
But advertise the good that you do. Advertise the good that you do. Dave Twine, light up Boxing Day match for Mr. Ruitt. Mr. Ruitt. I like that. That's very clever. That's very clever, David Twine. You're obviously a very intelligent man. Either that or you can't spell.
Why are you listening to this?
yeah.
Oh, what? Sorry.
You just said he's intelligent. I said, why is he listening to this?
Right, okay. Deb Phillips would like a return to fast entrances for season ticket holders. Do you think that would be a good idea?
What, rather than just queuing with everybody else?
Yeah. I agree with it.
What with the barcode?
So what? You're saying you've got your turnstiles, and one of them is designated just for season ticket holders,
or two? I mean, how many season ticket holders have we got? 12, 13,000?
There used to be. Why?
Yeah,
Why
not
wouldn't
sure,
they change
actually.
No,
Yeah.
not me.
Amir would be the man to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thought, isn't it? I'll give him a bell. Well, not a bell, I'll give him a text tomorrow. On a different note, Adrian Howell is saying the Wembley pitch looks ruined.
They've just played American football on it. It's not a surprise.
Why? Why?
Because it's
Money.
Wembley's decision.
Because it's money.
Yeah, exactly. But nobody. Apparently, Spurs were going to be back at their new home, so it wouldn't have made any difference, would it?
Wayne Wosley, did you see the bottle chucked at Sonny Aluko from Block 4? They got the person and threw him out. Should be banned for life. Wayne,
No, I didn't see that.
Totally agree with you.
What's Sonny Aluko done?
If somebody wants to throw a bottle
really strange.
at a professional footballer, irrespective of who they play for, right, should not ever be allowed inside St Andrews again. A lifetime ban for me. Lifetime ban.
Strong words.
Robert Doyle, stop talking over each other and be more professional. Nah.
Sorry,
Lots
Robert.
Lots of laughing faces. The comments are coming through thick and fast. Don't forget, guys, all you've got to do is share this on your personal Facebook page to be in a chance to win a prize next week. What time have we got Mr. Ross on? Because we haven't got a clock.
We've got him in another 10 minutes.
Another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes. Okie dokie. Wonderful. I've got to say good morning to Leonard. Yeah, what a birthday present, says Ray. Nick, can you slow down 10%? Too fast, can't understand you, from Kevin Kelly. All right.
Hey.
Calm down.
Slow it down. Slow it down, Nick.
Kevin, I will do that for you, definitely. Right, Josie Jones has joined in, and that's my brother's mother-in-law. Hello, Josie. Lovely to have you aboard the Tilton Talk Show. Right. GM Upper has got too many advertisements taking over the seats now, Pete Taylor. Well, if those advertisements bring in a bit of revenue while
Exactly.
we're not filling that
You're not being used, so you might as well.
Might as well, yeah.
Put whatever you want up there.
I'd put bodies up there. I'd put humans up there. That's what I want to get back to.
But where to?
No, that's. I mean, look, you can see the crowds increasing, but that's what I want to get back to.
Not
Seeing
moment
that
you
full.
Only if the ground's full.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh yes,
Because I completely understand with their point. How many can you get up there? 1,500, 2,000 in the Gulmere Cup?
Possibly, yeah.
Do you reckon? So, but you put people up there, you're taking them out of the lower blocks of the Tilton and Cop, which for the last two games has looked fantastic with people in it. You know, it's actually it generates that atmosphere, and that atmosphere is getting better. And it looks better on TV, and there's more noise with it, with people being in the lower blocks. The last thing you want now is for that to be disrupted, just so a few people can go in the Gilmary Cuppa.
Off note from the Blues from a moment from Pete Taylor. Real Madrid have sacked the manager.
Oh, least surprising news of the day. After a 5-1 defeat to Barcelona.
It was a thumping,
I
wasn't
couldn't
it?
even tell you who the manager was.
Julian Lopetegui.
Jay Racy, how much do teams get from Sky Sports when they chance the day to show it when they or whatever? I don't know, but I don't know. No idea. We've no idea what Sky Sports
Don't know
pay at
the income for
Championship
Sky.
clubs.
No. However, it will be more this season because obviously they're doing their showing every game on Tuesday nights now, aren't they? Behind the red button, so you'd imagine there'd be more income from Sky Sports for the Championship clubs because of that.
Yeah. Brett Stanley, how's the campometer going this week? Playing well, I think. Yeah, I've just seen another post from somebody else saying every time he gets a ball, he frightens the life out of me.
He got. Do you know what? There's, and you think football's about so many things, but sometimes it's a game of such tight margins. Reading on Tuesday night, I think they had the guy had a shot from 30 odd yards, didn't he? And it went straight through camp. Straight through him, and it hit the post and went wide. And you think an inch the other side, and that's in, and we're 1-0 down, and everybody's going to be on Camp's back again.
But then I could put this one to you: the 10 times that we've hit the post, and side we could be
yeah,
on top of the league.
The question, purely the question on
I know,
how people are feeling about Camp. That there is a mistake in him. There is. He's not the best goalkeeper in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but he's making decent saves. I don't think he could have done anything with the goal on Saturday.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe went down a little bit too quickly for the goal against Reading, but actually kept a clean sheet away at Stoke, pulling off a really good save. And I think there was one on Tuesday night as well against Reading where Keefton Bell's gone to clear it, and he's managed to parry it wide somehow. So, he's making saves, but he will also have the odd moment where you go, oh God, here we go. But that's where we are. We haven't got a bet. I will say now, we haven't got a better keeper than him.
No.
So fair play to him, and 11 unbeaten. He must be doing something right.
Kevin Kelly responding to my slowing down.
Oh yeah.
Nick, your Dorset Terry Wogan-esque tones are coming across better slower. I love it. Terry Wogan-esque. I'll have to get one of those long microphones, the big long thin ones that he used to have when he was doing Blankety Blank.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right, okay. Can somebody please answer James Totty? He may say something else. All right, okay. Because you go with it. Go
recorder of the fast pay video, James Totty.
All right, okay. So thank you, James, for your impartiality.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
See, it comes to
artistic
he's got his
skills.
own recording man now.
I have, yeah.
Oh, right.
It's fame, isn't it? You've got to.
Have you got
just
your
got
own
to do these
makeup
things.
artist following you?
No way.
No, obviously
No, he's not working well if he is.
He's going to need a lot of it. Concrete.
What did he ask anyway?
That's a problem now. I've gone off it because I thought you.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Let me have a look. Where are we?
I'll tell you what. You find that, and I'll ask the next question. Wayne Merricks, how about mentioning Block 39? They were singing to Wednesday fans, your supporters. Come on, guys. They bought 3,000.
They did.
But were they noisy?
They were all right.
Yeah.
They were all right. But then, I mean, to be fair, the loudest I heard them was when they took Stephen Fletcher off, and they were booing that decision, which was utterly baffling because Fletcher looked lively and dangerous. The other striker was just a lump that was getting nothing out of Morrison, and they took Fletcher off at 1-1. So for them to go and lose 3-1, I think the manager's got a few questions. Is the question Gary Gardner the new Barry Ferguson, keeping it simple, moving the ball? Is
absolutely.
that what?
Well,
was that the comment?
One.
Yeah,
we'll go with that one. I think it's a very good comment, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, Barry Ferguson was I think he was a lot better on the ball than Gary Gardner, but it's about. I think it's comparing apples with pears, isn't it? You've got Gardner in this midfield and Ferguson in the midfield he was in, and I think it's a very similar role that they've both got. they're the ones who, if they've got the ball, they need to keep it and get it forward to the front men, you know, and that's the role Gardner's got, and he's playing it perfectly at the moment.
And going back onto Camp again, Christie, Sheriff Camp pushed the ball onto the post. He knew where it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah,
Let's make it
I
look
didn't
better.
see it like that.
Yeah.
Right behind it, thinking, oh no.
Was that a ding, Mrs. Brown?
Yeah. Chris Ware wants to know, any idea when these deductions are likely to happen? Sorry if you've spoken about it, I was late joining. Well, apparently
We haven't
it's December,
spoke
isn't it?
about
It's
it.
December is going to be the when we know our fate. Apparently.
Okay,
There was supposed to be a meeting in October.
It's going to be December.
But it's
I
now
read
going to
it
be
today.
December.
right. So
okay.
October becomes December.
Yeah.
Say it is December. We appeal.
Say we're
Are they-
second.
Exactly.
And they dock us 15 points and Ray loses anyway.
But are they really gonna throw that at us in March, April? If they announce it in December and we appeal and it takes 3 or 4 months to go through the appeal, are they really going to throw something at us in March, April and disrupt the season in that way? And then we could appeal again. We'll just appeal all the way to the European Sport Authority. How far does it go? How far can we appeal? Yeah, because we will keep appealing and appealing until it goes into next season then, and then we're in a different ball game altogether.
I'm not sure.
We're probably
how many
back
times
in
you
line
can.
then.
How many times can you appeal?
Well, that's the point.
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
No.
Do the EFL know? If they lash something on us and we said no, we'll appeal that, and then it goes somewhere and they say no, and then we appeal it to a higher body and a higher body and a higher body. I don't know. Maybe there isn't a way, but that's the point. Nobody knows, and do the EFL even know?
But then, okay, let's assume it goes right through till May. And let's assume, right, that we've gotten either automatic or playoff promotion.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we're now a Premier League team.
You can't throw that at us.
The Premier League surely won't dock points.
Well, they might.
But they're a different body.
No, they won't.
They're a
The
different
Premier League
entity.
won't vote. Yeah, because they're exactly.
Yeah.
So they won't have anything to do with us.
So promotion it is then, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get promoted, and then we'll just laugh at the EFL as we wave.
There you go.
As we wave goodbye
As
to
you
them.
wave me goodbye.
Yeah.
We got some breaking news from a gentleman called Dave Pugh. What a bonus. Mr. Fun has only gone and moved out of the family home and left his Netflix account on automatic sign-in. I have never watched so many premium box office new releases films in a week before in all my life. You might need to sort that out again.
I've got nothing to say to that.
Nothing to say at all.
Cancel it.
No comment.
No, I can't cancel it. We use that a lot
can change your
in the
password.
new Pew family home.
No, the password.
Okay, so working this month in conjunction with KNBP, which is Kids Need Both Parents. Don't forget they've got their office come shed outside the front entrance of the COP, where you're very welcome to go down, be interviewed, have a chat, see if they can do anything for you. And also what they are doing is looking at taking a fan or some fans on a special kind of blues executive day out. So they need names of people who names of kids who have had it rough either through bereavement or through issues.
You can always nominate people on their website, can't you? I
Yes,
think.
So that will be
Craig
good. So
said
keep
when
in
they come
touch. Now next month we'll be looking at Crohn's colitis on behalf of Tracy Hemming, and of course Bradley, who's been in. Bradley, who's been on the show, as he suffers from that. So we'll be in conjunction with Tracy's charity next month, and anything that we can do to promote any of your charities out there, please do let us know. Right, skydive Franny. Chris, was he there?
No, he's gone.
He's gone. I wish he'd tell us when
He's
he goes.
disappeared.
We've got to say good luck then to Bick, who's running the New York Marathon next week. He's off out there to New York for Cure Leukemia, and anything that you can do helping out, financially for Bick and that charity, would also be only too grateful for your pennies. I know it's a very tight time of the year with Christmas looming round the corner, and
It is.
millions of pounds just going to be thrown away on fireworks. Not that I'm an unhappy kind of guy, but
No.
Oh, thanks for letting us know you disappeared.
Sorry,
I was talking to you.
He disappeared.
I guess. Sorry. Just waiting for a call.
So going back to the EFL then. The EFL from Robert Doyle will always have the last laugh. They will just carry on giving us one-eye refs and dodgy blindsmen.
Yeah,
I quite like that. It's
I 50% agree with him. The linesman in the first half on the cop side was horrendous. Made 3 or 4 absolutely woeful calls. I'd actually like to praise the referee a little bit. I know a guy on Twitter made this point as well, but I think especially the second half, the way we started that second half and came out the blocks, and then Sheffield Wednesday got back into it a little bit in the second. You could tell the game was never going to finish 1-1, but the intensity was really good in the game. The tempo was high, and actually, I think a lot of that was because the referee was letting the game flow. I thought it was okay on Saturday actually. Which we don't say very often. When it comes to referees and Blues games, but I thought he did okay.
No, as promised, we've got an absolute friend of the show, a legend of broadcasting, and a wonderful man joining in with us now, the one and only Mr. Tom Ross. Good evening, Tom.
Good guys, how we doing?
We're doing all rightish. We're doing all right. Obviously, some very sad news coming out of football over the weekend, which has kind of like upset the boat a little bit and upset us all.
Absolutely.
Quite. I don't know. It's just horrifying the things that have gone on this weekend. Let's hope we don't have any more of them.
No, I'm with you 100%. Certainly the death of the Leicester owner, but also, the death of the Brighton fan as well. He's left a family as well who...
We mentioned that at the top of the show.
Who will be worried, worried what they're going to do now. So, there's that. There's Glenn Hoddle, who thankfully is on the mend now. So, a dreadful weekend in terms of that. Just the tragedy at Leicester was it's just mind-boggling. It's just hard to come to terms with it, so close to home. And football, as you know, is a very small village. And I've been absolutely bursting with pride to see how all the football clubs and all the football club supporters and all the groups have come together to stand shoulder to shoulder with Leicester. I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, that's what football does, though, isn't it, as a family? You just put your colours down, you put them aside, and you just turn around and do what you can do. There's not a lot under these kind of circumstances that, we as individuals can do, but obviously thoughts and prayers and, they're going to need a lot of kind of, like, building,
Yeah. Support,
Struggling to find me words, Tom.
Well, I'll be honest with you, there are no words, are there? No. That's why you're struggling. There are no real words. I'm sorry, just doesn't cut it, does it? No. It really doesn't. It doesn't sum it all up. But I know what you're saying. There's a lot of people, his family, his friends, everybody at Leicester that was close to him. A lot of people have got a lot of grieving to do. And I think that will take some time before that, strikes home. It's not surprising in any shape or form that you struggle for words, because there are really no words that sum it up.
Yeah, difficult weekend. Anyway, Kidder, thanks for joining in with us tonight, buddy. It's always good to see you.
Delighted. Always love to talk to you guys.
Ah, mate, I love it. Now, actually on the Tilton Talk live stream, we've now got a still image of you with a pair of headphones and a microphone on.
And if you see me trying to run, still images just about right.
No, you don't. You want to see me run? Let me say it. And Robert Doyle's written that image of Tom looks like something off Punch and Judy.
Yeah. Oh well, it started already. There you go.
We got a lovely bunch. These are a lovely bunch. Can you answer me a question, Tom?
Yes.
What the hell is happening at the Blues?
Well, I don't think it's as big a secret as perhaps you could first think of. Let's firstly talk about Gary Monk, right?
Absolutely.
And for me, I think, I don't know how to sum it up, but he gets the club, doesn't he? He gets Blues.
He's got the fans.
He gets the club, he gets the culture, he gets the fans. He just gets it. And I think that, to start with, has put him on a really firm footing with us, if that makes sense. He, as a coach, he hasn't got the best players. Let's be absolutely clear about it. Birmingham City are not a talent-loaded team. But what Gary Monk has done is turn them into a well-organised, well-organised team. It's got ability, but we're not talking great ability. But he's got them well organised. He's got them playing great counter-attacking football. We're quite content as a club to let the opposition have a lot of possession. That's his choice. But he knows with Adams, Jukovic, with Otter and Magoma perhaps, or Mahoney, he's got genuine pace that can cause him problems at the other end on the counter-attack. And I think that's exactly. Would he want to play that way if he had unlimited money and bought in great? Probably not. But he has looked at it, he's assessed it, and then what he's done, he's got the club and he got the players into a really tight group. Never underestimate how important this team spirit is.
I've not seen anything like that for years.
Having not only your own back, but the back of everybody around you. The jerseys hang together at St Andrews, and it's a long time since I've seen that. If you kick one Birmingham player at the moment, they all limp. That's how tight they are as a unit.
Yeah, and the
they
fans
are
limp
really
as well.
working hard together. They stick together. They criticise each other. They're not yes men. I'm told in the dressing room they give each other what they have to give each other, but everybody takes it because they know it's not personal. What they know is that everybody's trying to help them be better. And that's what I think happened perhaps on Saturday, because we could have been 4-0 down at half-time. But second half they came out and were much better. And perhaps Gary Monk and some of the players made it clear, and they came out with a very different attitude. And let's not forget, part of that team spirit is the fans. People separate the fans from the team. Birmingham don't.
No, we don't.
The fans are part of that team spirit. There was a time on Saturday when I think that in the part of the cup were banging the back of these, whatever it is they were banging, the metal thing, and the Sheffield Wednesday fans started to outshout them and take the pee a little bit. Boy, when the Tilton and the Cup started to sing Keep Right On, they drowned them. And that's what I mean about team spirit. Team spirit on the pitch and off the pitch.
Nothing like
and I
it.
think that's got a lot to do with it. We're not going to win every game. There'll be times coming up shortly when they'll lose a game or two. But I've got to say, 11 games unbeaten, 4 wins on the spin, unbeaten at home. Wow. And he's the man that's done it, Gary Monk, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, it's about bringing it back to basics, isn't it, Tom? Like you said, that he knows that, for example, on Saturday you had, we mentioned earlier, Barry Bannon is probably by far and away the best player on that pitch. But Gary Monk knows that he hasn't got a Barry Bannon. But what he's got, like you mentioned, you've got pace up front. You've got 2 strikers that are in seriously good form at the moment, who are confident, who can hold the ball up, and so you have it for as long as you want. As soon as we get it to the front men, and we start causing you problems immediately.
Absolutely. That's why I hope it was tongue-in-cheek from Gary Rowett, who was complaining that they'd had 71% possession and hadn't won the game.
He was rattled,
because
wasn't he?
Gary Rowett plays a lot like Gary Rowett's team did. Yeah. Very defensive and catch them on the counter-attack. We're doing it a lot better now, but the principle was the same. It's a real nonsense in the game about possession, about all the nonsense. The game has never changed. It's about winning and getting into the habit of winning and finding a way to win with the players at your disposal. Now, Gary Monk could have come in and tried to play the Barcelona way, like a lot of coaches do. We could have got beat week in, week out, because he would have been trying to get players to do what they couldn't do.
Zola-esque.
But instead, he's looked at his group of players and he says, right, to get the best out of these, this is how we've got to play. And he's spot on. Absolutely spot on. You couldn't fault it.
He's absolutely revered by the fans. He's absolutely adored. I've not seen it like this.
There's not a question.
And
if you found him in bed with the missus, you'd make him a cup of tea, wouldn't you?
I'd give him a brandy. Need it.
But he's a decent bloke as well.
Yeah,
he's not a big time Charlie, and I didn't know him until he came to Birmingham. But I know people who work with him. Gary Pendry and Gordon Strachan, who I know quite well. They had him at Southampton. Darren Moore was with him at Torquay. So I found out a little bit about him. And the one thing that comes to you is he's a down-to-earth sort of guy. He's a down-to-earth. There's nothing. I say he's a modern manager with almost an old-school attitude, but modern thinking. He really does combine the best of both worlds. I think I think he's been an absolute breath of fresh air for this football club.
I'm loving it. It's just a great time to be a Birmingham City fan at the moment. And we've not been able to say that in here since we started 8 years ago.
No, it's a wonderful time, and I mean, you hear the fans thinking, we know what we are. there's no pretensions.
No.
There's nothing. We don't pretend to be what we're not. We know what we are, and this is. And I have to say, when I was there on Saturday. I do most of the home games for TalkSport, and I've got to say that the fans know it. The fans are loving every single minute of what they're seeing because there isn't a player on the pitch that comes off with any more to give. They give the best.
No.
And I don't think you can ask for any more.
And even fast pay is working now.
Say that again?
Even fast pay is working now.
yeah.
Right.
Well, you've lost me now. I don't even know what that is. I know it's about something about getting in and buying at the bar and that.
That's it, buying at the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, I don't know anything.
Well,
about
the famous Mr. Pugh videoed it on
but
Saturday.
I do know anything
work,
like
so
that.
It was all good.
It can spoil your experience, can't it? But people don't don't have their experience spoilt now because they're loving the 90 minutes.
Well, as
they're
somebody said earlier, Tom, it's not a chore to
They're
know
loving
anymore.
the attitude of the players. They're looking at the way the players give 100% every single time. And by the way, they have to. If you're Manchester City, you can be at 70% and still win games. Birmingham City have to be 100% all the time. And that is hard work. So for the manager to get them that fit to be able to do that, because that was a big thing, he got the fitness sorted quite early doors. And I think that's been absolutely massive. Listen, there's been one or two players that have we all know who they are, that sort of have fell by the wayside, they've gone out to other clubs. They weren't part of his plans. I don't know what went on, but I tell you what, looking at the way he manages, they didn't fit into that.
No. And, of course, we don't want to go back there, but we mustn't forget the uproar that was, surrounding the goalkeeper issues and this, that, and the other at the beginning of the season.
Well, listen, I don't know. I don't know.
No, not at all.
Any of the goalkeepers, if I'm totally honest. But what I do know is that sometimes a manager fancies you, sometimes he doesn't. If he doesn't, there's nothing you can do about it but to move on. That's all that happened, I'm sure. But they weren't. But he made it absolutely clear that they were nothing to do. He kept them away from the first team, and you can see that he wants that first team to be an absolutely tight-fit unit, all believing, all buying into his philosophies. He doesn't want any dissent in there at all. You can see what he's done, and I think it's full credit to him and his coaching staff. I think it's brilliant. And long may it continue.
Absolutely, please, right through till May. That will do for me. Lots of questions coming in, as you can imagine, Tom. Kev Kelly, can you ask Tom how BBC West Midlands are getting away with being so Villa biased? It's embarrassing.
Well, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not jumping on the fence here, but I don't listen to it, so I don't know if they're biased any which way but loose. All I know is and that's the reason I left Free Radio, is they decided they didn't want to do live football, and I could have sat in a studio and read out results. That ain't me. I wanted to be at live games, which is why I'm at TalkSport. Do I miss doing the commentary? Absolutely.
I bet you do, yeah.
Because I love that live commentary thing. But, I've had 40 years of doing it, to the best of my ability in this town. I can't ask any more. At my age, I'm still being paid to work. I'm doing TV boxing. I'm doing TalkSport, games in all the Midlands games. I'm known as their Midlands guy. So I'm quite happy the way it's going. As it regards WM, I have honest to God, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I know the guys, but could I tell you if they're biased on it? No, because I don't know them.
Well, I can tell you
I
something,
really
Tom.
don't know. I don't listen to them.
I can tell you
but
something.
the people that I know Paul Franks, I know Richard Wilford, I know Mark Regan and Rob. Individually, they're all great guys, and that's all I know.
I can tell you something, Tom. We're biased on this show, let me tell you.
Well, listen, I have no issue with it,
No, not at all.
Listen,
But that's what it's for, then. It's not a Midland show, it's a Birmingham City show, that's it.
I was biased to our teams, because the times I got rid of callers who said I'm a Man United fan, and I couldn't really I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in what they had to say or anything else, because I was biased to the Midlands area, and still am.
Yeah.
I want this area to be successful, and if Gary Monk can make Birmingham City successful, wow, I mean, that will be the job of all jobs. Do I worry about him staying? Yeah, because, you can't go on a run like he is without people watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
people will look at what he's doing. I just hope that our board have got him tied up nice and tight, because I do know one thing for certain, and I talk to him every single week, twice a week. He is absolutely loving being at Birmingham City. He loves the area. His family are up now. He's moved into his home. He's settled. He loves the area. He loves the fans. I don't think anything could tempt him away at the moment.
Brilliant. Right, Jess Hemming. Tom, how important is Pep?
His pet project.
Yeah.
Well, I think all his backroom staff, but certainly Pep has. He's got a lot of time for all his backroom staff, and I think they've all got individual jobs. But as regards how much Pep does on the training pitch, again, I'm not too sure. But I know Gary has the utmost respect and trust in him. In fact, all of his coaching staff. I mean, you talk about Gary and his team spirit. He has the same thing within his coaching squad, and he's told me to my face. He said, "Listen, I have no issue with any of them because I trust them. I trust them," and that's a key word, trust. He trusts every single one of them, and I think that shows. None of them are afraid to make their point, and that I know too as well. That they do make their point to him, and sometimes they disagree with him. He has the final say because it's his neck on the block. He has the final say, but he encourages them to challenge him. He encourages Pep and the others to challenge him.
Okay.
And then he'll think it through, they'll have a chat, and if he's adamant, he'll go his way. But I think the reason they're all together is they all have the same philosophy anyway. I think they all have the same philosophy anyway. But one of them, trust me, having seen this before, one of them will be the man that's in with the players, put his arm around them. Anybody that's a bit down, he'll be giving him a lift. Somebody else will be just pointing the finger and saying, "Listen, you've got to sort yourself." It'll work as a team. It'll work as a team, and they'll all have a specific role. But fitness is the key thing, and they do work hard. And I think Pep had a lot to do with that. And Gary's first words when he walked in the door, to be at our best, we've got to be fit. You've got to be able to play 90 minutes the way we play, absorbing all that pressure and then catching teams on the counter. You've got to be fit. And I'm sure every supporter has noticed a difference in fitness levels.
Yeah.
So I think the team as a team works. So often, one of the backroom team moves on, and sometimes it isn't quite the same. You saw that with Brian Clough, never really the same without Peter Taylor.
Yeah.
You've seen it with others, and I know that Gary Rowett has not got Kevin Summerfield with him now. I wonder how much that has affected him. So sometimes you lose people, and it makes a massive difference.
All right,
But
keeping on
he's
with the
got a good
questions then,
thing
Tom.
around
Mark Adams wants to know, Tom, is it too late for me to get a Bronx hat? That one
If I
comes,
had any, you could have one.
That one
But
comes up
I
every
still see people at the ground wearing them. They must have had them about 20 years.
that one comes up every time you come on. Daniel
I've still got a
O'Sullivan.
great picture of Barry Fry wearing one on the
Yeah,
bench.
seen it, yeah.
In the modern world, of course, the shop and all the commercial people will make sure he wears a club one, so that with the club sponsors on. But then Barry and Ed Steen and David Ells all wore an extra AM Blues Bronx hat, which I was really chuffed and proud about.
Daniel O'Sullivan. Gary Monk doesn't need to give out doesn't give out weird excuses. Tire opposition forwards by passing back. Or doesn't matter who manages these players, they can't do better.
Well, I think, with all due respect, I think before Gary Monk come in, they were pretty much the same group. And we were saying, whoever comes in, this lot can't do any better. But Gary Monk's come in and made that lot do better. So I don't think you're right, if I'm honest. Can they get any better? Are they the finished? Is this the team that would take Birmingham into the Premier League? No. Not in a million years. But I tell you what, for 3 years now, we've flirted at the wrong end of the table. With virtually the same players now for the last year or so.
Says a lot, doesn't it?
And people were saying, as I say before Gary Monk come in, this team can't play any better. We need to have a rethink. We need to get rid. We need to bring new ones in. He's come in, and he's done ever so well for me. He's actually got, and I think, why not? Why shouldn't a coach be responsible for improving players? And I don't think you could argue that he's improved players. Pedersen's improving every game I see him. Shaky at the start because he was new to the championship. Now he's settled. Harley Dean and Morrison look as rock solid. Colin, really quality right back. The midfield, Gary Gardner and Clifton Belt, are really good twosome. You know, one's a bit cleverer with the ball than the other, but both of them have got an attitude where they get after things and they win the ball back. Wide, pace to burn. And up front, you've got the most honest player I think I've seen in many ways, in Jukovic. Top bloke, works his socks off, and now he's getting the rewards that he wasn't getting before. He's scoring goals, and Adams is a class act, and he will always get you goals. And we've got players like Vassell to come back and stuff like that. And Mahoney, I mean, what a goal he got at the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of positives. But give the manager credit for improving players that people thought couldn't be improved. And I think that's an important part of a coach's job. Too easy to go and say, he's rubbish, I'm buying a new one. But I'm looking at him and I'm saying, look, I can't afford to buy anybody, so I'm going to make you a better player. And I'll do that by organising you. You will go out on that pitch and you will know your job. And that's what he does. Every single player knows their job. They go out on the pitch and they are together, organised. Every single thing in detail is done on the training ground. He will get them. He can't legislate for mistakes because sometimes players will make mistakes. And to be fair, the biggest difference in the game at the various levels is decision making. Players at Manchester City make most good decisions. The lower down you go, you make more bad decisions. That's what the game's about. So he's made them play a way where the likelihood of making bad decisions, right, is lessened. But if they do, he's got a team where every single player's got each other's back and they work for each other. And if you drop a clanger, I'll bail you out. We're in it together. The one thing Derby County do that I do like, and it's Frank Lampard insists, is if and when they score a goal, every single player celebrates. Everyone. He wants them because, you know, that team spirit. We're pretty much like that ourselves as well at Birmingham, that team spirit. Key to Birmingham. I'm absolutely buzzing with it, you know, buzzing. Big test, though, at the weekend with Derby.
Yeah, big test.
Massive. Greg Nichols, I live in the States and is listening live tonight and don't watch games, but how many current players could do a job in the Premiership? Could the unthinkable happen and could Monk make Savvy enough? Then it repeats itself. Okay, so there you go. What players do you think? About that. Listen, for 3 years we've been trying to stay in the Championship. I'm not even thinking about it because, you know, the people who could have the biggest say on whether we are even in the playoffs, and we're not far away, is the EFL. Yeah.
They could have the biggest say of all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what happens this season. Are they good enough? You know, I'm sure them. Listen, I don't care who you are, and we're seeing now, aren't we? Teams like Huddersfield that went up, good players, struggling. It's a different world. I would rather cross that bridge when we come to it. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome before that. The EFL being one of them, and hopefully they won't hit us too hard. But,
Des Paul
but at the moment, on track for the playoffs.
Des Paul has asked, does Tom think we'll be deducted points?
Say again?
Des Paul has been asking, does Tom think we will be deducted points?
Well, listen, the one thing about this stupid FFP and this profit and sustainability, which they changed, I think it was 20 months ago, they changed the rules, which is why QPR were treated differently. And that is that every club in this division is probably the same. So no matter how hard they hit Birmingham, they're making a rod for their own back and creating a precedent that could bite them on the backside. I just hope they can see sense. But I mean, listen, if you break the law, if you do speeding, you get caught speeding, you know you're going to get fined 100 quid, 3 points. You know it. They're going to discipline Birmingham. Birmingham have broken the rules, but they haven't a clue what the punishment's going to be. Neither of the EFL got a clue what the punishment's going to be. I mean, it's laughable that they can be that way and not have a system. And I'm told, I don't know exactly, but I'm told that Birmingham haven't gotten too far over the 39 million aggregate losses you're allowed to make. They haven't gone too far over. So I'm hoping that the sensationalist national press that was saying 15 points, I can't see it being anything like 15 points. Not at all. You know, I'm hoping against hope they just think, right, we can't create a precedent for ourselves here, we'll fine them. But, you know, a lot of people I talk to think it will be a points deduction, but on the lower end, maybe 3 or 6.
Adam Wilkes says, Tom, can you take a breath?
Again?
Adam Wilkes says, Tom, can you take a breath?
I'm sorry.
And Kevin French says, welcome to the new Tom Ross show.
I talk for fun.
Welcome to the new Tom Ross show. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I mean, it's a great time to be a Blues fan at the moment. It's a wonderful time.
It is, even though we've achieved nothing really, have we?
Yeah. Well, we have. No, I think we have.
No, I mean,
what we've done is with a team that's flirted with going out the division for the last 3 years, is it? And now all of a sudden, people are looking at us. People are going, have a look at this team. We've got players in the EFL Team of the Week. We've got 3 players in the top scorers.
Yeah,
we've got players, manager going to get the October Manager of the Month if there's any just. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we have achieved something. We have achieved something. People are looking at us a lot different now than they were a year ago. That's for certain. So, we haven't won anything, definitely. Have we achieved anything? Yeah. I tell you what he's achieved. He's given the fans a bit of pride back.
That's it. That's the biggest thing at the minute.
Pride in the club, and when they sing "Keep Right On," and I've got to say, I sit and talk to him, and you cannot talk to him when he don't mention the fans. He was at Swansea, with all respect to them. I don't think he realised what passionate fans were really all about till he came to this club and sees it and feels it. It's just absolutely. Well, it's just crackers. It's just crackers. But we've known it, haven't we? We've known what being a Blue Nose is about. I mean, even when I go to interview Dean Smith now for TalkSport before the games, when I come in now, he don't call me Tom, and I've known him years. I played football with him. Yeah. He calls me the Nose. And you know what? Long may he continue doing it, because at last we can stand up with chest pumped out a little bit. And why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we enjoy what's happening? We haven't spent hardly anything really in this last window. We've got this new business plan foisted upon us by the EFL, which means we can only bring players in on minimum wages. A lot of money to you and me, by the way, but minimum wages in football terms. We're never going to be attracting great players as it stands at the moment. And yet this man has still got that squad, turned it round, organised them, made us difficult to beat, and got us, I don't know, he's just got a belief on and off the pitch that gets stronger by the week, stronger and stronger by the week. There are many teams looking forward to coming to St Andrews, let me tell you. Let me tell you, they won't be looking forward to coming to St Andrews. And we can go away. The difference is, when teams come to play at St Andrews, when teams come to play away, to start with, they normally come and put up the shop themselves. And it's the home team that does all the attacking. They come into Birmingham, and Birmingham are playing a very organised back 8. And all of a sudden, it causes them problems, because they don't know whether to stick or twist sometimes. And that allows Birmingham to not to be on the front foot, because that isn't the way we do it. I mean, Sheffield were on the front foot early doors on Saturday, but Birmingham were organised, rode the luck a little bit, defended resolutely, and then after half-time, bang, caught them on the counter-attack. Came from behind and caught them. I think those are really important things for me, is that we're causing teams a lot of problems. Forget the quality. And I see a lot of fans on social media talking about quality. The game's about winning, and that's what it's about. He's not losing games, he's winning games. Sometimes I think we draw too many, but he's not losing games, he's winning games, he's got them believing. That's what the game's about. The game's not about step-overs, drag-backs, flicks and tricks. It's about getting a result for the fans, and he's sending his team out to do that. But we have got some quality as well. Otter can cause anybody a problem. Magoma on his day, Che Adams on his day. We have got quality. But the key for us is organisation, and you've got to say that's totally down to the manager, absolutely down to the manager.
As Paul Gill says, Gary Monk knew what the fans were about after Bolton away last season. That's the moment he realised what this club was.
He did. He did, absolutely spot on.
I was there. Beautiful night.
And I think when he was thinking about this season, he knew he had to tap into that, and St Andrews become a fortress, and he has been unbeaten. It's a fortress, and he knows that the fans play a massive part in it, and he's bought into the fans. The fans have bought into him. Listen, there will be bad times. I'm not trying to say we are Real Madrid, or Barcelona, but there will be bad times. We're going to lose games. Then we'll see, the manager come into his own and get that team believing again and go again. I just think it's honestly, I can't tell you how chuffed I am. And when I walk to the ground, I'll go to the ground now. I get there very early on my days, because I just enjoy being there. But when I go to there and I hear the fans, and they come in to talk to me before I'm walking through the car park, and I can look in their faces, and they're standing a bit taller. They're proud of what's happening. The kids have got their shirts on, and they're proud. Listen, that alone, the guy should get a knighthood, the Freedom of the City of Birmingham, for what he's done. Just for giving 20-odd thousand fans belief again. Belief and pride. I think it's fantastic.
Straight from the art. Chris, you got anything?
No,
Nothing. Right, Ray Hobro says, Tom, when the Vile lose, you get more blues answering what's your thoughts on the game.
Listen, one thing I'm not going to do is get into that. I am looking forward to the Ding Dong Derby, if I'm honest.
I certainly am, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be, this, and let me tell you, fans won't like it. They've got some individually very, very good quality players, individually. But if you read my column in the Birmingham Mail on Wednesday, the whole thing is about, and people have had stick on social media about what I say. I say sometimes it's better to pick the best team and not the best players.
Mm-hmm.
And people laugh at me, but I know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
If you had 11 Messis in your team, you'd lose every game. You need a balance in your team, and I think Gary Monk has got that balance absolutely spot on.
When's your next commentary at the Blues, Tom?
Say again?
When's your next commentary at the Blues?
I'll be at the Blues. Is it Hull, isn't it, the next one?
Hull, yeah.
I think Hull's the next home game. I'm doing that one, which I'm looking forward to. I'm doing the Derby as well, so I'm looking forward to that. I always look forward to that, and I should send me mate Ian Taylor a little text, making sure he doesn't switch his phone off after, because I do dish out the banter big time. Good, and I get plenty there. When I go there, you
get enough back, don't you? You get enough back,
plenty, and I love it. And I shall be. I was at the Irish Guards do on Saturday night, and I'm introduced like it's a really posh do, but the guy introduced boxers, and he said, and from the world of broadcasting, Tom Ross, I'll stand up, and there's a soldier, a captain, would you believe, on the next table, who's a Villa fan, and he shouts, "Up the Villa!" really loud, and everybody's quiet. And I couldn't think of what to say, so all I could think of saying was, "Mind the gap." That's all I could think of saying. And to be fair, he laughed his socks off. And I've got his number, and I'm going to call him after the match as well. So listen, I love the banter in football. I don't like hate. I never have. I love banter. And we've seen this weekend, some horrible things that have happened in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leonardo, Leicester, the Brighton player. So I think, all in all, we have to remember that it's a small world, and whoever you support, good luck to you. We'll support our team to the end, and I think Blues fans this season have played a massive part in the club's success. Massive.
Yes, you could take that back to 91 with the Leyland Daft Cup final when 40-odd thousand went down to Wembley.
I was talking about that the other day to Paul Tate, to be fair, one or two of the others. I loved it. That was. I still don't know how I got away with it. I did commentary on the bench. I sat next to Robert Hopkins, the sub, who moaned throughout because he weren't getting on. But I sat on the bench. I was down on the official team list as a physio. I had a tracksuit with my name on and my headphones in a bucket. And I did the commentary live from the bench. But I lost it when Blues won. I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. I did a lap of honour with the cup. I was mental. So I'll never forget the Leyland Daff. I know people talk about the Carling Cup, which was amazing. Premier League promotion at the Millennium. The Worthington Cup. They were great. The semi-final against Ipswich. The semi-final down at Brentford. In the Leyland Daff. The semi-final at Millwall. All those sort of things were great. But for me, the Leyland Daff, seeing my team get to Wembley was amazing.
Too right. Well, Tom, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Always. Listen, I thank you. Don't leave it so long. I love the chat. And next time I'll come in.
Come on.
It's a lot easier when you come in.
Any time.
Thanks very much for having me.
Door is always open for Tom Ross. And the guys out there, loads and loads of great comments. What a legend you are. How much they love your commentaries. This, that, and the other. Blah blah.
I will say though, if you look at it very closely, legend looks ever such like legend.
It does, where I'm concerned.
Listen, guys, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, perhaps see you outside for the whole game. If not, then have a good one. Enjoy.
Look forward to it.
And
Thanks
keep
very
right on
much
as
indeed.
always, mate. Keep right on.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Take it easy, buddy.
Cheers, Dom.
What a bloke.
Legend. Great.
What a man. What a man.
Good stuff. Cheers. Fantastic.
Tom Ross, ladies and gentlemen. Whew.
Are we good?
No, it's the comment that came out, I can't find it at the minute, mate, was Chris
Was
Pugh's
it-
really
it-
taking this,
yeah,
is not talking over seriously.
I did see that one.
I
I enjoyed
was a
that one.
classic.
Yeah. Who was that? They've won comment of the night already.
That was from Adam Wilkes.
Yeah.
Mr. Fun's taking this don't talk over guest thing really serious, really professionally.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Brilliant,
that one. Yeah,
brilliant,
it was a good
brilliant.
one.
Yeah, we've got to get him in. We've got to get him in next time.
Yeah.
Got to get him in.
Do you know what?
It's struggled to hear some of it.
It's
With how loud it was, but yeah, if he comes in,
yeah.
it'd be a brilliant show. Wouldn't
his
it? 'Cause
passion is just
he's
unrivaled,
got so
isn't
much
it?
to say.
Oh, yeah.
Unrivaled
yeah.
passion.
He just
I
loves the
believe,
blues. Just loves
it's
the
what
blues.
time are we? 53?
Yeah, 7 minutes.
7 minutes
That's why I was
ago.
trying to rush you on a bit, yeah.
What?
Okay.
Okay, I believe it's my turn to pull the competition winner out this
Oh,
week.
go on.
Yeah,
then,
go
yeah. Change.
I've got it.
Here we go.
I've got it.
Give it a good shake. 'Cause I'll give it a shake. No problem. That's it.
Shake it
okay,
all
give it a
about.
shake. Shake it, baby, shake it.
Here we go. This week's competition winner is
Chris Brown.
Kevin Stan Smith. Kevin Stab Smith. Stav, I
Kevin-
think it is, isn't it?
Kevin
Stav.
Kevin
Stav.
Yeah,
Smith.
Stav
Oh,
Smith.
okay.
Kevin Smith. There you go. You've won a bag full of goodies. There you go,
That's
Mrs.
all right.
Brown. You take hold of that, actually, and I'll just put that in front of the.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, Kevin, just get in touch with me and I'll get that sorted for
categorically
you.
prove that I'm not taking the bag of goodies home myself. There you go, Mister. Thank you very much for that one. So, Kev Stav Smith, get in touch with Tilton Talk or Mrs. Brown, and we'll get a big pot of goodies off to you. 7 minutes to go,
It's flown.
hasn't it? Just
Yes.
and we haven't done any word association today.
Thank God. That's the one. That's the That's the best bit of song coming on. We missed that bit. Yeah.
Oh, dear me. Tom's like them dolls. You pull the string, but the string broke.
That's his passion.
He's
you know.
he's great
That's
though,
his
and he's
passion.
great. He is a Ray Nash, great guest. Good old Tom, great show, lads from Richard Hayler. Oh, that's our resident,
Richard,
our
good
resident
evening,
superstar
Richard,
from
yeah.
across the water in the United
That
States.
would be
no
good
doubt.
afternoon.
Yeah,
When
rather.
Richard is on, I
Afternoon,
assume.
Richard.
Probably just got up out of bed.
Good afternoon, Richard.
Yes.
There you go.
Very good.
Probably
I
a
would-
massage.
I would have to say one thing I disagree with Tom on.
Go on then.
He said
Controversial.
if you had 11 Messis in your team, you'd
Mm.
lose every one.
Well, they wouldn't
No,
be
you
able to
wouldn't.
defend and
No,
goalkeep, would they?
you would.
No,
You would.
no,
If
no,
you've
no.
got 11 Messis, you don't get the ball.
Right.
Simple as that.
I'll see Tom after the whole game.
Yeah?
Tell him that.
Go
why,
for
why
it.
didn't you call him out on that while it was live?
Well, you're not allowed to talk over the guests.
You've got to put your hand up. He could have rung the bell.
Didn't work.
Oh dear. Right, here we go. Got to mention Cessy Blues coffee mornings on Tuesday at the Working Men's Club just at Bordesley Green, is it?
Yep.
Bords-
Labour Club.
Bordesley Labour Club.
Yeah, just
the
by the Blues ground.
Labour Club, just
By
back
the
behind the Blues ground.
Oh, sorry about that.
Whoa.
What was that?
That might have been our old friend.
I thought he belched.
No.
That wasn't me. Yeah, it's a great little club. Absolutely fantastic club. We're
Dennis-
hoping that's where we're hoping to do a live Tilton Talk show from.
Yeah,
in
that'd
not
be great.
foreseeable
That would
future.
be good.
Yeah.
Let's talk Mr. Fun's skydive. Well, he's categorically said, Dennis, unfortunately,
There is
that he's
no
not
one.
going to do it. He's
There
not
isn't
going to do
one.
it. Did you see that awful thing I tagged you in the other day?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. I did.
Mark Adams says, get David Cottrell on. He'd be a good guest. Anybody's welcome. It's just getting these people to agree
David
to
Cottrell
agree to
would be a
come in.
good guest. Yeah.
A banging show again, lads.
That'd be
Until
good,
next
yeah.
week, keep right on from Jay Raisey. Thank you very much indeed. Don't forget, this month has been in conjunction with KNBP. Kids need both parents. Please give them as much support as you can. Go across on match days to see them. They've got the shed outside there right through to the end of the season, and they're going to be doing something quite big on round about. What was it, Boxing Day?
Boxing Day for Stoke for
Yes.
the grandparents, I think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. Steve Portman says raffle being launched tomorrow by Excessi Blues in aid of Annie Devlin, and of course Skydive for Annie. We've got to mention that one as well. Please support that all you can.
Absolutely.
Apart from jumping out of an aeroplane at 13.
I mean, if you want to do it, do it. I certainly wouldn't be forcing anybody to jump out of a plane against their will.
Stuart McDonald wants to know, does Chris Brown open the door when the Halloween kids come round with the trick or treat? Poor children.
Lights off, into the back room.
But I must credit you for the Grealish one. That was absolutely
good,
brilliant.
wasn't it?
That was top draw, that was.
When is Halloween? Is it next week?
No, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh, it's a shame. I've got a little thing as well. Oh, I'll do it for next Monday. I'll show you next Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty clever.
Right, here we go. Derby away next. Predictions, please, Mr. Pugh.
3-1 Derby.
3-1 Derby. Chris Brown.
I'm going to go for a 1-0.
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
1-0
unbeaten.
Blues.
1-0
1-0 Blues. I'm going for.
At Derby.
I'm going for 1-0 Blues at Derby.
Right, yeah.
People, your predictions? Great show, lads, from Paul Lilly and Kev Kelly Young.
There's quite
Mr.
a
Pugh,
few.
don't be bullied by the pensioners.
I won't, Kevin. Don't you worry. I won't.
Did you see that?
Ray Nash also says, great show. Mark Allen Brooks, evening, guys. First time of listening. Enjoyed the show. Look
Where have
forward
you
to the
been?
next one.
Every Monday
Thank
night,
you,
7:30
guys.
till 9.
Come on, 10
Give us
years
a
now.
kind. Richard Haylor says 1-1 draw. Paul Gill 1-1. Paul Hipkiss 2-1 Blues. What's going on? You do realise it's Derby away.
So,
You do realise these people want you to eat your words next Monday night.
I'd love to.
Live at the very top of the show.
I would
at the very top of the show.
absolutely love to. I would be.
And this, ladies and gentlemen,
I'd
is the
love
man.
nothing more than to come in next Monday and go, my God, I'm an idiot, aren't I?
This is the man, ladies and gentlemen, who bet money on Birmingham City getting relegated last
Did you?
season.
And how wonderfully it turned out.
2-1 Blues from Chris Grant. Ricky and Tina Sewell 1-1 draw, again the same as me. Dave Tyne 2-3 Blues. Blimey, another 27 comments have come in since then. This has been absolutely mental tonight. Really difficult to keep up with.
Ray's not well. Ray's gone for a Blues 3-0 win.
Okay.
Get well soon, Ray.
Gabby's going for a
Whatever
Derby
you're
3
going
Blues
for.
one, the same as you, I think.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh
said,
dear.
yeah.
Right, okay.
Ray Price 3-1 Derby.
That's two
Some
serious heads of football
goals
there.
in this match, by the way.
That's two serious heads of football there coming together with 3-1 Derby. Huh? How well I want to prove you pair wrong next week.
I'd love to be proved wrong.
Right, Paul Gill, Lee Camp to equalise with a rebound off his post from a pass back that sails into the Derby net. Yes, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, mate.
And that for me, Paul Gill, is the comment of the night. Well done. It took right up to the end. We're not going to do a word association now because we've got no time left,
Oh,
unfortunately.
no.
So we're almost out.
Aww.
We'll do it for half an hour next
what a
week.
shame.
So
What a-
We'll
what
do it
an
for half an hour
absolute
next
shame
week.
that
so
is.
look forward to that.
3-1 Blues, Mahoney 2, Hotter. Ooh, Lindsay Phillips. Well, there you go. Adam Wilkes, 12 games unbeaten this time next week. Let's hope so, my friend.
Rory
And
Cash 6-6. What a game.
Leonard Edgington, all the way from Australia. Blues to win, as Derby will be tired after losing to Chelsea. There is that. Of course,
Oh,
is that.
they
That's
have
a
got a
good
game
point.
week,
That's a
haven't
good
they?
point. I'd
They might
forgotten
rest
that
a
one.
few.
Just quickly, Paul Hipkiss says, I love my appearance as a pundit on here and love this show.
Love it.
We've
Thank you,
got
Paul.
a chair there for you, Paul.
For
Whenever you wanna come
anybody.
in, whenever you want to come in. come in.
Anybody wants to guest
anybody,
appear
yeah.
on this show, give us a shout.
Daz
You don't have to be
Hines.
good, obviously.
Yeah, look at us.
Obviously.
Absolutely useless.
Daz Hines 4-0 to the Blues. Keith Bowter scored against his former club for about a week from Pete Taylor. Yeah, that's the point, yeah. That's a very good point. I like that. Keith's about to start anyway, so... dear
Whoopsie
me. Well,
daisy.
I just don't know where the time's gone to. That's 9 o'clock already. That is absolutely mental. People, thanks ever so much for joining in. Thanks ever so much for sharing. Thanks ever so much for supporting all the groups, the KMBP. BHST, of course, don't forget, they need rucksacks, they need sleeping bags, shoes, clothes, you name it, you name it, you name it. Start piling
Quick
it
one.
in. Start piling it in.
Paige Williams, Blues women defender,
Yeah.
has agreed to come on a trip with the
On a Tuesday
BHSC.
night?
We need
Yeah,
to sort
yeah,
out a
yeah.
date
I might be free next Tuesday night. So
next
I'll
Tuesday.
Or the Tuesday.
Not
after.
tomorrow.
No.
Tuesday
no,
after.
I'm
no,
free next Tuesday.
on
The Tuesday after tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll
Speed
sleep on the
race.
floor here.
Ask Matty if they're up for
Okay,
it.
yeah, no. Yeah,
I'll sleep on the floor
yeah, okay.
on Monday night.
And don't forget, if you've got any stuff, you can drop them off to me as well.
So what we'd like to do, if we're going to do an outreach next Tuesday for the BHST guys, you're going to have a word with Paige, yeah?
Yeah. Well,
We'll definitely be up for that, and we want to try and get as much stuff in there beforehand as we can. Much stuff in. Support these guys. Support KMBP. Support Accessory Blues. Support all of the groups and the Crohn's colitis, which we'll be supporting next month.
Yep.
On behalf of Tracy. Mrs. Brown, thank you very much indeed for getting it right tonight, actually.
Not too bad, yeah.
Thanks ever so much, Chris, for your input there.
Pleasure.
And certainly for staying quiet through the Tom Ross debate. That
You're
was
most
absolutely, I'll
welcome.
tell you what, mate,
Most welcome.
that was quality professionalism.
Quickly.
Mark Andrew Adams, can I come in one day? Would love it. Absolutely. Come in, Mark.
Come in, Mark.
Right, get in touch.
He says he'll get his people to talk to our people.
Fair enough.
They're still doing that. It's been the Tom Ross Trillion Trophy Trillion Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Fast Pay.
Up the Fast Pay.
Sponsored by Pucker Pies. Pete Taylor, thanks ever so much for that one. We'll leave you with that. Good night, God bless, take care. A win, please, on Saturday, and then we can have another happy Monday. Take care, keep right on. Thank you very much.
We'll support